Okay, so today is a beautiful day. Today is the 28th of May. It's my last week here in Dubai for the summer. I just went for a walk outside. I just got my coffee. So right now, it's all about putting the work in. So today, the market is looking absolutely beautiful. And so I really want to make this video because I know that I will probably get a trade. Doesn't matter if it's going to be a win or a loss. And by the way, this month, if this last week doesn't provide, then I'm going to end this month a little bit negative. And so I want to make this video to talk to you about how I'm feeling for the month of May now that it is like break even slash a little bit negative. So let's hop onto the charts. I'm going to make a breakdown of what I'm looking for in the markets, and then we're going to go about our day. Right now, normally what I focus on the most is the daily. And when I look at the daily, the market is looking absolutely fantastic, because what I forecasted in the Sunday market breakdown was that I wanted to see this daily fair value gap inverting, which means becoming bullish again, and then the market retesting that fair value gap and moving up. And then what are the targets? The targets are at least this high, also this high. So I expect at least these two highs to go today. If not today, then this week. And eventually the market to target these highs and continue breaking higher, basically. Because I am looking at the DXY also and thinking, yes, we flipped this fair value gap bullish, but then we also reclaimed the fair value gap once again. So I'm looking for the market to move back up and down. With that being said, I want London session to start being bearish, and then I will execute on longs. Because like that, everyone that executes long at the beginning of London session is not in profit. So let's see how the market plays out. Okay, so the idea today, now that we've broken down the market, is to read a little bit. I have a live stream in the afternoon, and then I need to record a ton of trade recaps for the Simple Trading Edge. So come along, just a day full of learning, reflecting, and that's it. The reality of being a trader. So let's do it. Okay, so I have just entered on a trade on euro dollar, so let's see how this works out. This is more of a play on daily bias. The market can retrace a little bit more, come towards this order block, which is where we're at right now, and then I'm looking for the market to move up. And once the market starts moving up and confirming this trend, then I want to enter in at least one position more in order to then be able to have a higher risk to reward, which means if I enter in this position, then I'm able to double the risk to reward. So let's see. This is the scaling I'm talking about, and the order is set at 715. So let's see if we get tapped in and then the market moves up. Okay, so while having lunch, I entered in two more 10 lot trades. So basically, we had the first trade, which was the trade on the fair value gap right there. And then these two 10 lot trades were basically right here along this area when we flipped the fair value gap. But then at the end of the day, I will break down all of the trades. Okay, so I have just had lunch. Let's go outside and go for a target. Okay, so let's first talk about the fact that I am negative. It's slightly negative. I'm like -2R for May. The reason I think this is important is because it doesn't really matter if you're up or down for a month. It matters how you react to the fact that you're up or down for the month. So for example, in January, I was actually -6R. But guess what? For this year, thus far, I am +20R. That is much better than 99% of people for this year. So you need to understand that 1 month does not make or break you as a trader at all. And it's how you react that makes or breaks you as a trader. And that is the number one thing that you have to keep in mind. Because if you forget that, you will eventually long-term lose. And the second thing that I want to talk about is the fact that nothing was built in one day. Nothing was built in 1 month. It takes years to build something worthy. And that is what the Burj Khalifa reminds me every single day. Like, if you look at pictures of Dubai 30 years ago, the difference is ridiculous. But it was not done in one day. It was done with vision and working day by day. So let's go back upstairs. But yeah, the reason I wanted to do a day in the life today was because of that. I wanted to talk about the fact that I'm negative for the month of May, and that it is okay. Now, for futures, so I live streamed every single day in May, and that I'm like slightly positive, but either way, doesn't really matter. I'm looking at the whole picture. Okay, so back at the computer. The market is just moving a little bit. We have a little bit of development, but for now, this trade is not risk-free yet. Well, just after recording that most recent video, we had a small push, but again, still not risk-free on this trade. So right now, this is my average entry on EU. It's 731. So we are only in 10 pips profit, 10.5 pips profit. So to me, stop loss is still below the low. The stop loss is now going to be reduced to this, to 6.7 pips. So yeah, still risk on this trade. To appear on a video, so I'm going to record the chat, and if you want to say hi to the video, then make sure to do it now. And then you can say, oh, I said hi. Okay, so I'm going to be closing the worst position trade, and I'm going to let all of the other ones run. So we're currently running 6 grand still, and currently still running 13.8 pips. Okay, so I'm just going to move the stop losses up a little bit. So these stop losses right now are at the low of the 1 hour order block. So the market is reacting a little bit bearish. We are at the 15-minute fair value gap right now on euro dollar. So let's see if we have a reaction from here or not. Overall, the trades are still running and the stop losses are still placed, so let's see. Okay, so yeah, my stop loss is at 700 right here. So my stop loss is right here. I'm just going to increase it a little bit just because I don't like very precise stop losses, like, oh, this can't even break this order block by a tick. So I'm going to move it to 694. So if the market does start breaking lower, then it's a tiny break even. So that's really how I'm approaching it. Let's see what the market wants to do. And we'll be here in this live stream still for 35 minutes. So we'll see. So it's currently 5:42 p.m. here in Dubai. I'm currently live. I've already done the live stream for the Simple Trading Edge. That's what you saw the clip of. So my EU trade is still running. So while you're watching this, there's some B-roll of exactly what is going on my EU trade right now on the screen. Yeah, I'm just going to continue live streaming, finish the live stream, and then I'll come back to you. Okay, so I have just finished the stream. I'm still running the Nasdaq long that we caught on stream, and I'm still running the Euro longs. So I got tagged out for minus 0.2, but I'm going to go right now to the gym, and then I will break down all the trades that I've taken. So right now, it's night. It's nighttime. That's the one thing I don't like about streams, is that I start and then it's night. At least this is the view, but I can't even see the sunset. But whatever, we're going to the gym. Peace. So today, we're going to do back, and I have the #1 socks to take to the gym. That's how you go to the gym with style. What are you looking at? I've just arrived from the gym. I closed the trade in the gym. This is the trade that I took live on Nasdaq. It was one contract in here, and then I exited. I actually almost exited at the top. And again, I will make a breakdown in the next clip. And the EU trades are still running. So we'll see what happens with these EU trades. Let's see if they run. I want to hold them probably for tomorrow, so we'll see. It's 11:30 p.m. here in Dubai. It's time to do the breakdown of today. And don't get me wrong, this looks absolutely crazy, but don't worry, I will explain all the trades that I've taken today. Basically today, this trade, it was a trade that I took, but at the end, basically this was the average of the trade that I took. And then eventually I started scaling into the trade here. That's why you saw multiple trades throughout the day. And this was the average. The market was running a little bit, and eventually it came out and tagged me out down here. So let's start from the beginning. So this trade was basically a trade taken on the 5 minutes. So the first trade was a trade taken on the 5 minutes. So first, I had a bullish daily bias. The market had just reached a level that I wanted to trade on. So I wanted to trade this fair value gap, and then the market started breaking higher. So once the market starts breaking higher, what I said is that, okay, I'm looking for longs today. And what did we get? We get range. And then afterwards, market moves up. So anyone that longed Frankfurt is making money. Eventually we come all the way lower. London session opens,
And now we have this low that is swept, and we have this market shift. So on this market shift, I execute on the long. So I entered, and then I actually noticed that the 10 pip stop is actually quite a bit. And once the market moved higher, I actually moved my stops down to 2.7 pips. And then eventually the market came lower and tagged me out for a minus 0.3. Then after we have the minus 0.3R, I noticed that DXY, if we go back to DXY, I noticed that there was a clear target that we wanted to target on DXY. We were up here, and then eventually I wanted to target at least this low. My mind was saying we're coming for this low at least, and that's what we did. So what did I think about? Well, notice how there is a fair value gap down here on the 1 hour. Not only that, we also have an order block right here. So the market shouldn't really be moving much lower than this order block. So what did I do? I actually put my entry at the fair value gap and stop loss below the low. Eventually we started moving really higher. At one point we were running almost 20 pips on this trade, and the market, I thought the market was at least going to come for these highs, but eventually the market reversed, started breaking lower, and I got tagged out. Up here, you saw that I basically took a little bit of profits up here, just 20% of the trade, because now once the trade moves lower, this actually becomes a risk-free trade. So with that in mind, I entered in a few more trades, and this was the average, and then eventually the trade trailed me out down here. So right here, minus 0.1. We'll put this here. And eventually, the market starts breaking lower. But my idea is, I still think EU is moving bullish. And so with this, I noticed that the market was moving very bearish. And I noticed we had a bottom wick right here. And when I went into the 5-minute, we went lower, and eventually we had this market shift, fair value gap. This is where my entries were. Eventually, I entered again, and this became my average. And then again, the market loved to do this today, but the market was running and it moved all the way to the lows for a 4.5. So this was also a minus 0.3.
Okay, so it's basically midnight today. Not the best trading day. FX has been slapping me in the face lately. Like today, the market was good, like the bias was okay, but the bias never delivered. Looking back, okay, I should have taken profits, whatever. But to me, my idea is my bias was set. I executed on exactly what I was waiting for. I executed on good trades. I managed my risk really well, and it was an unprofitable day. And that is completely fine, because what we have to understand is that us as traders, we shouldn't define ourselves for 1 week, 1 month, or even a quarter. There's 220 trading days every single year. Judge yourself on a yearly basis more than on a monthly basis. Like quarters, they are important. You need to review your quarters and even your months. You need to understand what you're doing wrong every single month. Are you sticking to the plan? Or are you not sticking to the plan? But if the answer is yes, I'm sticking to the plan, I'm executing on exactly what I'm forecasting, but the market is not presenting, is not delivering, then it's perfectly fine. You did what you had to do. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted to make this video, knowing goddamn well that I had to say in this video, I am negative in FX for the month of May. I'm more than okay with saying that, right? Let me get the results for this year and you will understand why. So for January, I was minus 6R. February, 7.74R. March, 13R. April, 5.5R. And then May, if it stays like this, which it might do, to be fair, if EU pulls back into the range, I will probably just not trade for the rest of the week. So let's say that May finishes minus 2.7, which is what it's currently at, then I'll be at like 18R for the year. That's not too bad, right? And that is because, again, I am not judging myself on the fact that, oh, January I was negative. Well, it is what it is. February, I turned things around. March, turned things around. April, turn things around, right? These are the things that you need to keep in mind. If I was judging myself constantly on the fact that I was negative in January, probably I wouldn't have the results that I had for the rest of the months. So just keep that in mind. Keep your head level-headed. Is that even a thing? Maybe. Keep yourself based. Don't worry. Think about the long term. And that's basically it. I hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you took some value from this. And I will see you in the next one. Peace.